Yes, this lens combined with these settings gives us a beautiful blurry background and makes the shot more crisp and bright. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If we haven't met yet, my name is Phil, and on this channel I share with you my documentation of starting entrepreneurship and everything involved with it, like investing, productivity ideas, gear I use, and so on. I was thinking of buying a new lens for my camera, which I use to film YouTube videos and take pictures from my online store. If you want to know more about that, you'll find more up there. I bought this camera 5 years ago because it was quite cheap and it was supposed to be decent for recording videos. Now I'm not 100% satisfied with the video quality, but it was definitely not bad to start. I was wondering though whether I could improve the video quality with a better lens than the standard one included with the camera, because usually companies won't be putting the best gear in a starter set like this one, I figured. And with better quality, I mean I would like the image to be clearer, less noisy, and get a more blurry background, making the subject, or me mostly, stand out from the picture. This is the lens I landed on. A Sony lens with a fixed focal length of 35mm and high-speed f1.8 maximum aperture. I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to cameras, but here is what I learned in the process. What we are looking for, technically speaking, is a lens that has a low f value. The blurriness, which is desired by many for their portraits, is achieved by an interplay between the lens focal length and the aperture. So let's quickly explain both metrics. Focal length is easy. It tells us how much of the scenery in front of us will be captured and how large the individual elements will be. The longer the focal length, the narrower our angle of view, and the higher the magnification, or in a language I can understand, the higher the zoom. This lens has a fixed focal length of 35mm, so rather large angle of view, which is quite convenient if you have to record in small spaces like an apartment. Because the higher the focal length or your zoom is, the further you have to place the camera from your subject, but at the same time you want your subject to move as far away from the background as possible to get a nice blurred out background. And this is actually a relatively spacious room with around 500 square feet, but I still have to put the camera in one corner and myself in the middle of this room. Now Aperture comes in. Aperture affects the overall brightness and darkness of your image, but also affects the depth. You see that when we increase the f number from 1.8 to 5, which my old lens was only capable of, the image becomes much darker, so we would have to crank up the ISO, which would make the background more noisy, and the depth of field is much higher, meaning the background is much less blurry and the shot looks far less professional. If you decrease the aperture of your camera, this will open up the iris of the lens and let in more light, while also increasing the depth, giving you these beautiful blurry backgrounds, and objects closer and further from the camera will be blurred. This is super nice if you take product pictures like these ones that I took from my website. So if that's what you're looking for, you need to look for lenses with a low f number, like here, f1.8. Additionally, this will allow you to decrease the ISO, reducing the noise in your images, making them more crisp. Here you can see one video that I shot with a high ISO, and here with the new lens I was able to set the ISO to a minimum of 100. Or here the extreme example of shooting in the dark with an ISO of 100. One more tip I took from one of Ben Johnson's tutorials: set the shutter speed at double your frame rate, which is optimal between too blurry and too jittery. I shoot at 25 frames per second because, according to Matt DiVella and others, this gives a more cinematographic look to videos, even though, to be very honest, I didn't really see a difference, so I set my shutter speed to 1/50. One great side effect of buying this new lens was that I started to learn more about how a camera works and what I can do with this one. I started shooting in auto everything, and now I set everything manually, which really increased the quality of the videos, and all of this cost me only 90 bucks on eBay. So I can definitely recommend that you check out if there is a lens with a low f and a fixed focal length for your camera. That was it for this video. I hope you found it interesting and got some value out of it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to support me and my channel. If you want to check out what gear I use to record outside, you can check out this video right here. Again, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.